So in today's class I will be talking about reproductive isolation and speciation. So what is a species boundary? Just hold on one moment. Okay, so let me start again. So today I will be talking about speciation and reproductive isolation. So what are the species? Today we will understand how we can differentiate between one species and another. What is a species boundary, and what are the ways by which reproductive isolation takes place, and what is the mechanism of reproductive isolation. So this is what we will be talking today. So with this I will start presenting my screen. Okay, so a species, how do you define a species? So a species is defined as a group of individuals that actually or potentially interbreed in nature. In this sense, a species is the biggest gene pool possible under natural condition. That is, they mate with each other. So they are a species. So a human being will mate with a human being, like we were talking. So this is how we define a species. So have a look at these particular, this spider, this spider, this spider, and this spider. They are known as happy face spiders. They look different, different colors. But since they can be interbreed with each other, that is, this can interbreed with this, males and females can interbreed with each other, they can mate with each other. So they are considered to be the same species. They look different, but they belong to the same species. Similarly, you have similar looking Drosophila melanogaster and Drosophila similans, but they don't mate with each other naturally. So they are different species. So this is the same species, Theridion grallator, the happy face spider. So this is a species. But in nature there are a lot of places where it is very difficult to apply this definition. For example, many bacteria, they reproduce asexually. So definition of a species as a group of interbreeding population, it cannot be given over here. It is very difficult to give such a definition over here, because they are reproducing asexually. How do you know that they are different species or same species? Also, many plants and many animals, they form hybrids in nature. For example, hooded crow and the carrion crow, they look different. Kalo kuchkuche kag, the carrion crow, and you have the normal crow, that is the hooded crow. They have got certain hybrids in nature. So, well, are they different species or are they the same species? How do you know them? You really cannot say at this point of time. Okay, so now speciation, how do you define speciation? Speciation, so the in this case the species is blood, because their mother and father, they are the same. There are two different looking, one carrion crow and one hooded crow. Morphologically they are different, but they have got hybrids. So how do you know that they are different? It occurs in nature. So where is the delineation line? It is very difficult to say. So it is a speciation is a lineage splitting event. So one species, lineage species, is one point. From one point you divide it into 2 points. So this particular line of species which is dividing, it gets broken into 2 parts. So this part of having one species broken down into 2 species which don't mate with each other, that is the lineage splitting event. So this is how. And so now we talk about isolating mechanism. But before we go to isolating mechanism, you can see that this was speciation event. So this was one lineage of one species going, it splits. and this splits, and one goes in this direction, one goes in this direction. This goes, and you have the Drosophila obscura over here. Then again a speciation event takes place and it breaks down. One side you have Drosophila dentissima and one side you have Drosophila melanogaster. So this is the species splitting event. So Ernst Mayr gave the concept of isolating mechanism in 1963. So the reproductive isolation is the concept given by Ernst Mayr. So it is the concept given by Ernst Mayr. So it is also the basis of the biological species concept. So when there is a reproductive isolation, there is a lack of gene mixing. So reproduction isolation takes place and one species will not be able to mate with another species. Okay, before I tell you one thing, I will give you only time up to, if whatever time, 5 minutes time you people have to join. After that I will not allow anybody in the class, because while taking class it is very difficult that people are coming here and entering time and again at any time they want. I will not enter. This is the last time I will allow you people to enter. Okay, the reproductive character, they are defined by reproductive isolation. Two broad kinds of isolating mechanism between species are distinguished. One is the pre-mating isolation mechanism, that is which occurs before mating, and the next is the post-mating. One is factors which cause to species to mate with their own kind. This is the problem when people keep on disturbing and entering the class. I am going with the flow and I get disturbed. So pre-mating isolating mechanism. So they are factors which cause species to mate with their own kind, and that is assortative mating. So they can be temporal or seasonal isolation. So individuals of different species. So what happens in temporal or seasonal isolation? That is, time or season is different. Individuals of different species do not mate because they are active at different times of the day or in different season. One is active in the day, one is active in the night. One is active in the summer, one is active in the winter. So you have a temporal or seasonal isolation taking place. And example can be found in Rana, in this Rana species. You see that the Rana burlendieri, this is one species, Rana blairii is one species, and Rana sphenocephala is another species. There are 3 species present. So the frequency of egg laying, what you have over here is January to April you have this this species of Rana laying eggs. Then at this species of Rana increases during this time, and during this time this species of Rana they are sort of their eggs are laying. So this results in this particular thing, this results in these people being temporarily or seasonally isolated. So they are unable to mate with each other. So then they are able to mate with each other. So this type of thing can be found Rana burlendieri, Rana blairii, and Rana sphenocephala. It is a typical example. Then you have temperate zone bird species like herring gulls, Larus argentatus, and lesser black-head gulls, Larus fuscus. They show clear seasonal isolation because their peak egg-laying period differ by 1 month. Then you have the ecological or habitat isolation. In ecological or habitat isolation, individuals mate in their preferred habitat, and therefore they do not meet individuals of other species with different ecological preferences. So, for example, the Panthera leo, the Indian lion, and the Indian tiger, Pantherus tiger, they overlapped for a long time. But there are no natural hybrids of tiger and lion, because lions live in open grassland while tigers are forest dwellers and they live solitarily. So because of these ecological and habitat preferences, the tigers and lions, they don't mate with each other naturally in the habitat. This is the same thing can be found for two species of toad, Bufo americanus and Bufo fowleri. They show a differential preference for breeding places in regions where they overlap. They also show a temporal difference in their breeding seasons as well, though there is a slight overlap and a few natural hybrids are observed. There is a slight overlap. The next is the behavioral or ethological isolation. That is, the mates they meet, but they choose members of their own species. Like simulans male and melanogaster females, they will not mate. In Drosophila simulans, you can find that species of Drosophila will not coat in the dark. Even male fireflies, they send out light signals which are different with different species. Songs, calls, they have very important role as auditory stimuli in isolating mechanisms, especially in frogs, toads, birds, and in many insects. Then there is mechanical isolation. In Drosophila, what happens is that the copulatory organs, their sizes don't fit. For example, Drosophila pseudo-obscura and melanogaster, if you force them to mate, so when they uncouple, the intestine of the pseudo-obscura male, they come out with the Drosophila female. So such a damage takes place because the sizes are different of the copulatory organs, so they don't fit. And because of that, this is called mechanical isolation. So you don't have interbreeding isolating. This is an isolating mechanism. So they isolate these two species from each other. The next is the post-mating isolating mechanisms. That is, there are genomic incompatibility, hybrid inviability, or sterility. The first is gametic incompatibility. In some interspecific crosses of Drosophila, the so-called insemination reaction occurs where the walls of the female passageway destroy the sperms. So, sperm of one species gets inside the genital tract of the female of another species, and the female genital tract, they destroy the sperm. So, no mating takes place. So, the gametes are incompatible. They don't take place. Then and it happens between Bufo fowleri and Bufo valliceps, where a normal behavior male with a non-functional gonad, they stimulate the production of ova in female. Because due to non-availability of sperms for fertilization, the ova die. This increases reproductive isolation. Then there are special chemoreceptors on sperms which of one species which do not recognize the eggs of another species. Then you have zygotic mortality. Egg is fertilized but zygotes don't develop. For example, you find that Rana clamitans and Rana catasbiana, they usually do not hybridize due to cytological block of fertilization. Number of chromosomes are different. So during meiosis, how will they pair? They are unable to pair. But one from father, one from mother, they come. But one from father comes, but the one from mother doesn't come, so they can't pair. So the zygote, the fertilization takes place, but development will not place. The zygote will not take place. Then hybrid inviability. Donkeys, mule, hybrid sterility. Hybrid is viable, but adult is sterile. The mule or the khachar, horse and donkey, they are sterile. They cannot mate. Drosophila melanogaster simulans, you can force them to mate, but the hybrid is not viable. So these are then hybrid breakdowns. It happens in crosses of pseudo-obscura and persimilis, but they break down. They are sterile. So an alternative classification of isolating mechanism, they can call them as pre-zygotic or post-zygotic. So one which happens before formation of zygote and one which occurs after formation of zygote. This is another way by which this classification takes place. So you can see already here that in this particular zygotic isolation which takes after the formation, all these things. But remember, I have posted this note in in my Google Classroom, so you can download it over there and you can study from there. Write it down in your notebook, and then that's fine. You'll be ready for your exam. So then we have Haldane's rule on speciation. Haldane's rule is an observation of the early stage of speciation. It is formulated in 1922 by J.B.S. Haldane. That states that if in hybrid species only one sex is inviable or sterile, that sex is more likely to be the heterogametic sex. The heterogametic sex is the one with two different sex chromosomes in mammals. For example, this is the male. So Haldane himself described the rule as when the F1 offspring of two different animal races, one sex is absent, rare or sterile, that sex is the heterozygous sex or the heterogametic sex. So you have X0 and XY type of sex determination taking place. It's found in Drosophila. X0 is essentially a female and XY is of course a male, but the sex of a Drosophila fly determines on the ratio of its autosome and X chromosome. It is not dependent on the presence of Y chromosome. So next we come to the different types of speciation. You know that allopatric speciation is geographical speciation. We had talked about that. We have sympatric, that occurs the temporal or seasonal change, it occurs, that is sympatric speciation. You don't have much of this isolating mechanisms over here. So with this ends your reproductive isolation and isolating mechanisms. Okay, with this I stop my sharing and let me take your attendance. Okay, so there are 12 people who have attended today's class. Okay, next day I will talk about the next aspect. I'm ending my class. Do you people have got any questions? Please ask questions. No questions? Okay, then I end my class here.